Welcome back, Tigers. I'm Cody, joined alongside Bray Woodall. Bray, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good as always. So we got two co-hosts to join alongside us, Lily Ferguson and Aubrey Walters. How are you guys doing?
Good. I'm doing good.
All right, Bray, you got some questions? I got some questions.
Yep.
You start off.
How does it feel like dancing with like people you've danced with like almost your whole life?
It's such an amazing experience, like knowing people for so long. Like my longest teammate I've known since 4th grade, and we started dancing together in 6th grade. And just growing up together in high school, like, just was such an amazing experience. Like, just made my high school and middle school life so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so special being able to dance with, like, all of your teammates and, like, getting to grow up with them, but they're also, like, your best friends, so you're not just dancing for your team or your coach or your school. You're dancing for your best friends to win that title.
So getting into dance, how did you guys start off? Was there any like pop star dreams to get behind? Because I mean, obviously that's a lot of little girls' dreams is to be pop stars. So is that one of them?
No, my friend actually convinced me to do it. Like I used to be a cheerleader like 2nd grade, and then I quit. And then my friend was like, "You should be a Tigette," and I was like, "Oh, what is that?" So she was like, "Well, you like dance on the sidelines," and I was like, "Well, I like the dance part of cheer." So I tried it out and I loved it, and I'm so glad I went for it.
Yeah. I started 7th grade. I did like our mini program, and because it was just like a dance before the game instead of just halftime and stuff. And I really enjoyed it, so I stuck with it, and we're here now. So,
what's like the most nervous you've been before an event?
Definitely state. There's a lot of pressure throughout the entire season for state, like because everyone knows about state, and like you're pushing to get that ring, like that's what you want. And so everyone's just so nervous at state. Like, you can't mess up. You can't miss anything. So I would definitely say state.
Yeah, I definitely agree because, like, state is every single sport does state. Everybody goes to state, and it's just a lot riding on your shoulders. And in dance, you only get one chance. Like in football or basketball, like, you can recover from that. But dance, you only get to perform once. Yeah. So it's a lot riding on your shoulders.
How did y'all like prepare differently for like state than like a normal event? Like how was like the preparation for it? Was it any different than like a regular event or?
For state, we like our state week that we have. We're like really, really drilling down on those things. I mean, we drill a lot throughout like our whole season. We practice all year, but definitely like state week, we really push towards those dances. But like, we also focus on like football games and basketball games, performing for those half times. But state week, we really focus on just state. So, yeah.
All right, we got a game for you guys. It's Would You Rather. Now, these questions could be, some of them I think are targeted towards you, but for the most part, we don't know any of the questions. So we're going to have some wild answers. All right, I'll start off, Bray. Would you rather cats or dogs? Would you rather have a cat or a dog?
Dog.
I like both, but probably dog.
Bray?
If I'm like living by myself and like I have to take care of it by myself, probably a cat because it's way easier. But if I'm living with like my dad, my mom, my siblings, probably a dog because it's like it's a better group effort to take care of it, walk it, feed it, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I probably also have to go with the cat. I just think they're a lot neater and I feel like cats they feel like they're the boss of the house, so they kind of take care of themselves. So you just got to do like
bathe themselves and stuff like that.
Exactly. You don't really got to do much to a cat. Bray?
Would you rather go to Walmart or Target?
Target.
Probably Target.
I would say Target too. There's way more at Target.
Yeah, Walmart's closer to my house, but if I had to choose, probably Target. So yeah, Target.
Same. Would you rather have an Apple or an Android?
Definitely Apple.
Apple?
Have you ever had an Android?
No.
I did for a while. Apple's way better.
Yeah, I would go with Apple, but whenever my phone would break, my dad has a secondary Android, and I would just use that. And I would be tuned. Yeah, I just wouldn't send pictures. I would just only text. But yeah, would you rather have pink hair or blue hair?
Pink hair? If I had to.
I don't know. I feel like
I'm not getting a job either way.
I like both. Do like half and half.
Yeah, I'd probably blue ninja.
I was going to say like a dark blue. You could hide that better.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather have TikTok or Instagram? I guess is like your only social media or whatever.
Instagram, because of Instagram Reels.
Yeah.
You get both.
Yeah, probably Instagram. Keep up with everybody better.
I think Instagram has a better like what you like. Like whenever you're on Reels, I feel like it knows what you like more. On TikTok, I begin like random dog ads or something like that.
Yeah, I go with Instagram Reels. For one, it's way easier. The UI is way easier to use, to send to your friends and stuff, and it's more funny. It's way more funny than TikTok. Would you rather eat everything with a fork or spoon?
Fork.
Definitely a fork. They're more versatile.
I go with fork, but rip cereal. No more cereal. Can't eat cereal.
You could use some cereals.
I mean,
like you have to
it's not
dry.
the same
No
with
milk.
the
No more milk.
Yeah.
I'd also go with a fork to answer that. Would you rather have Snapchat or iMessages?
Definitely iMessages. I don't use Snapchat very much.
Probably iMessage just so you can FaceTime and stuff, which you can FaceTime on Snap, but it's just better.
Not as good.
iMessage.
I feel like it's. Would you rather have a better FaceTime or would you rather have better like pictures? Because I feel like sending pictures on
that's
messages
true.
or like is a pain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because I communicate with my friends on Snapchat, but I only communicate with my family through text.
Yeah, because they don't have Snapchat.
Yeah, so I guess
That's a hard one.
I guess text, because I can text y'all, but I
Yeah.
can't, snap my dad. So
Yo, can you text my dad real quick?
Yeah. Would you rather pep rallies or game day?
Well, that's a hard one.
That's a hard one.
I feel like pep rallies just because they're like less often. Like I've been to so many games, but like I've only gone to like 3 pep rallies, and the energy in the room is just like crazy, and I just love performing at pep rallies more than like half times at games.
I agree. Like pep rally is just so much more like everybody's more into it. Everybody's actually like watching us and stuff. Whereas game days, everybody's just like getting concession stands or something.
Is the coaches still strict on you whenever there's a pep rally, or are they a little bit less like?
They definitely don't care as much as state week or like a competition, just because we're not really competing for like we're just having fun and stuff. Yeah.
I got you. Okay, I got one more card. Would y'all rather dance at an away game or a home game?
Home game.
Definitely home game. Yeah.
Just the energy of the home games is better.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's so much more fun.
All right. Well, is that all the questions you got, Bray?
That's all I got, man.
All right. Thank you guys so much for your time. That's all me and Bray have for this segment. Next up is the NFL segment.
Right now, get $200 from TTCU Federal Credit Union when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. What would you buy with $200?
Cars, race cars, my own apartment, 100 coloring books, and a puppy.
Or maybe some groceries and a tank of gas. $200 for whatever works for you from TTCU, because life is better in balance.
Welcome back to the second segment of the Tiger Sports Report. I'm Cody Eich, alongside Bray Woodall. We're joined alongside Noah Manis and Jaden Stewart as well. So we're going to talk some NFL football. Starting off, we'll talk about the Eagles versus the Cowboys. Jaden, what are your thoughts on that game?
I thought the Cowboys, everyone wants to trash them, but I legit think they could be Super Bowl contenders this year. Dak Prescott outplayed Hurts. He didn't have a single turnover. Just at the end, that 2-point conversion. I mean, it's just a game of inches. He was so close to that. Then also that touchdown that was down at like the half-yard line.
Yeah.
But I was really impressed with the Cowboys just playing a great Eagles team, and they kept up with them the whole time, and it was just back and forth. And I just think Cowboys are really legit this year, and I was impressed at how good they did.
All right, we'll go to Noah. We'll save you for last.
I didn't watch the game, but I watched the highlights afterwards. Yeah, but the Cowboys are pretty legit, keeping up with the Eagles. Like Jaden said, it's a game of inches. Cowboys could have won that, but unfortunately they didn't. So it's a win to the Eagles. Eagles deserved that win after a hard-fought win. So I'd have to say Dak Prescott outplayed Jalen Hurts a lot. So that proves something to Dak Prescott. So.
I think as an Eagles fan, the defense really frustrated me on for the Eagles side. We got Kevin Byard to help us with the passing defense. Didn't work that game. Dak Prescott, I will admit, throughout the whole game, he played better than Hurts, but he cannot carry a offense down the field whenever they're down. There was a stat that popped up on the screen that Jalen Hurts' QB rating is first in the league whenever he's trailing. Dak Prescott's is last. He just can't carry a team whenever he's down. If he's down 14-0,
Gives up.
0-7, it's just like he's not going to win. He has to have the lead the whole time. The defense has to bail him out every time. He just can't. If you see him with 40 seconds left, 0 timeouts, down by 3, he's not going to get you the point. So that's all that is holding them back, in my opinion. It's literally Dak Prescott. So, but Jalen, he played good, no turnovers. He had 2 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground. I think he played fine against a good Dallas defense. But one of the last plays is whenever DeAndre Swift ran into AJ Brown and fumbled, and the rookie Tyler Seen picked up the fumble recovery. My heart was beating so fast, dude. You don't understand. So yeah, those are just all my overall takes. And AJ Brown's streak got snapped of 125 plus yards, most dominant streak in wide receiver history. But yeah, those are my thoughts about the game.
I think the Cowboys played good. I think the Eagles played good until the very end, where they played a little bit sloppy. Dak Prescott fumbled the bag there. He had everything in his thing. The best Eagles corners, Bradbury and Slay were both on the sidelines for one of the plays. There was plenty of room. Everything was going good, and then delay of game, just back-to-back flags, just pushing it back down to like the 30. They were at like the 10, or they could have easily won that.
They were at the 10, and a pass interference call got them to the 50. Yeah. So like, come on, like the refs literally handed you 40 yards down the field. So it's like
it was flag after flag after flag all the way to the other end zone. But I think the Eagles played good until then as well. Jalen Hurts was making all the right passes, but that's nothing new for him after his MVP breakout season. Almost MVP breakout season. Should have won it. So speaking of awards, my fault. We are going to be talking about the mid-season awards since we're coming up week 9. So Noah, do you have any predictions on who's going to win MVP, DPOY, stuff like that?
If MVP wasn't such a QB award, I would have Tyreek Hill winning that. I hate that it's such a QB award, but probably Jalen Hurts for MVP right now. He's played really great. Defensive Player of the Year, honestly, probably Myles Garrett. Browns defense is arguably number 1, and I'm not trying to be biased, but it really is. And Offensive Player of the Year, honestly, I would have to go Christian McCaffrey. Rookie of the Year, C.J. Stroud, played amazing.
Amazing.
They got set the rookie game record for passing yards and touchdowns. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think he tied the passing touchdowns.
But that's amazing coming from him, Jaden.
MVP, I think Lamar Jackson will win it. The Ravens, they just looked like the most well-rounded team. He's been doing really well, been consistent all year, not a lot of turnovers. And they're like 7-2 now or 6-2. Lamar's just been very consistent, which I would think Tyreek Hill would win, but it is such a quarterback award. So I believe the Offensive Player of the Year will be Tyreek Hill. He's just been burning defenses week in, week out. I do agree with Noah. I think Myles Garrett will most likely get Defensive Player of the Year, either him or Micah Parsons. And then Rookie of the Year has to be C.J. Stroud. He broke the record for most passing yards by a rookie, which is just insane, like 470.
Yeah, unreal.
He has 14-1 quarterback ratio I saw, which is like the best since 2016. That's not even for rookies. So C.J. Stroud definitely locked up, I think, this past week.
My MVP pick, Jalen Hurts, as per usual. My DPOY, unfortunately, Micah Parsons. He's going to be terrorizing us for the next decade. And then Offensive Player of the Year, probably Tyreek Hill. He's been carrying that Miami offense. I got to go with, for Rookie of the Year, C.J. Stroud, and Defensive Rookie of the Year, I'm going to go with Jalen Carter. Those are my picks.
For MVP, I think if the 49ers can get things straight and pick up the pace, because they were doing what they were doing at the beginning of the season, I really do think Christian McCaffrey can win it. But I think them already losing their last 3 games, when they were on the 3-game losing streak, I think that he kind of lost the chance to do it. Not that he played bad, but they played bad, and that's really a big part of it. So I do think that it's going to be a quarterback that wins the award. Probably will be Jalen Hurts if the Eagles keep it up. I mean, they're 8-1. So for Offensive Player of the Year, I agree with what both of you said, or all 3 of you said, between Tyreek and CMC. I'm going to go with Tyreek because I just think he's going to put up 2,000 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Easily.
No one's ever done that. So I think he'll win Offensive Player of the Year. For DPOY, it's a toss-up between Garrett and Micah Parsons, but I'd probably go with Myles Garrett. That's all my awards for the most part, because I don't need to repeat that.
C.J. Stroud.
C.J. Stroud's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
So unreal.
So, you guys have anything else? All right. That's all we have for the NFL segment of the Tiger Sports Report. Next up, we'll be talking some NBA basketball. We'll see you guys there.
Recently, you've had to put your life on hold, and we're with you in this. At Ascension St. John, We're now open for appointments, and we are fully prepared for your safety and our care. As we open our doors again, our doctors, nurses, and care teams will continue to wear personal protective equipment. We've taken even more steps to clean and stringently disinfect all areas. We will maintain distancing in our waiting rooms and will continue to limit visitors. And we will still screen all staff to protect their health and yours. Our emergency rooms are here 24/7. Please do not delay care. We're still delivering babies and performing surgeries. And we're open for your appointments, from specialists in surgical care to routine care and health screenings. Ask us about virtual visits. Ascension St. John continues to care for you, as we have been for almost a century. Thank you for trusting us.
Welcome back, Tigers. I'm Cody Eich, joined alongside Bray Woodall and Aiden Roden. How are you doing today, Aiden?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. We're going to talk about some NBA basketball. Let's start off with the in-season tournament. It's the first year that it's happened for all of us. I mean, we've all been watching basketball for a long time. This is the first time we've seen something like this. Aiden, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, it's definitely interesting. It's nice to see the players taking it seriously. we're not seeing too much fan engagement from it, I don't think. I'm not sure it'll last. Maybe they'll try it again next year, but I don't see it lasting very long.
I have to agree with Aiden. I don't think the fans really seem to care about it. I think they thought they'd get way more engagement because it's a tournament. You know what I mean? Like it's like a mini playoff type thing.
Yeah.
But nah, it's just like a whatever to the fans. I think. But the Thunder and the Golden State Warriors had an amazing game. The score was like 141 to 139, and ended on a Steph Curry buzzer beater. It was a great game, and like the players are taking it seriously. The starters are in the whole. Most like the normal minutes they'd play, they're in the fourth quarter, so they're taking it seriously. So that's what I like to see from the mid-season tournament, but I don't see it lasting very long, maybe like one more season.
I also don't think it will last very long. I think they just filled a buzzword, and then you hear tournament, and you're like, oh, sweet, this is a tournament. Yeah. There's going to be like a little trophy and everything like that, but the fans are like, man, it's whatever. It's just the regular season with the cool court.
Yeah.
Cool court, and an award at the end of it. I think it's because of like how divided the divisions are. Like the Nuggets are obviously going to win their division. Like that's why I think it's such a flop in a way. I think it will last a couple more than just a season. I don't think they're going to give up on it that easily. I think it'd be like four years, and then they'll be like, all right, this is. They'll either change it or get rid of it completely. We have seen some players step up because of it. So do you guys have any predictions on how people are going to finish? Anything that's been catching your eye player-wise?
Player-wise, as in like how far are they going to go in the MVP race, or just surprising?
Just surprising. Or people that you didn't think they were going to do good that are doing good.
Yeah. Well, Chet Holmgren has been very interesting. He's been great for the Thunder. I wasn't really sure how he would turn up. He's averaging a little bit less than Victor Wembanyama, points, rebounds, assists-wise, but way better efficiency. Yeah. So I love to see that.
He's like 5th in the league for 3-point percentage.
Yeah. Yes, he's doing great. And Damian Lillard still needs to find his footing with the Bucks for sure. He's definitely, he had an explosive first game, but he's kind of fell off. So once he really finds his spot in the offense, then it's really going to become special.
I agree with Aiden. I think the thing about Chet Holmgren is that he's averaging a little bit less than everything from Victor Wembanyama, but he's not the first option on the team. I think Victor Wembanyama is by far the number one option on the Spurs. He's like the generational next, he was compared to LeBron and could be the GOAT type stuff. I mean, that's what people were saying. So, I mean, I'm like, if Chet's doing just a little bit less than Victor Wembanyama, then we should be grateful because, it was scary because, like, this scrawny guy and he tore his ACL just pickup basketball at this little league thing. So, like, I was kind of worried as a Thunder fan about how he'd do, but I think he's doing great. And I'm impressed with Victor Wembanyama, too. I watched his first ever points. I think he's going to be generational for years to come.
Absolutely.
Yep. I think the Spurs have been honestly pretty good. Speaking of Victor Wembanyama, I know the media covers him a lot, but I think it's not just him on that Spurs team. Devin Vassell has really showed up as a star, like wing player that they need. The Spurs are starting to realize that they can just throw it to Victor wherever, and he can dunk from standing on his tippy toes. Yeah. So I think I honestly thought he was going to be a little bit of a flop just because of how like big he is and how much history we have in between like big players getting hurt so fast and everything like that. Yeah. No rookie has really surprised me so far into the season, but the Clippers have surprised me, and that's our next topic. James Harden just got traded to the Clippers for a printer and some bag of chips, and Patrick Beverly. So they lost their first game to the Knicks by 14 points. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Should they be scared, or what's up?
I mean, they just got to get used to the offense, man. Like James Harden, he said, "I'm not a part of offense. I am the offense." So like getting like a generational player like James Harden, you have to like change the way you play. You know what I mean? So like I think they're just trying to get used to it. I mean, like they had more fouls, turnovers. You know, they were killing him on the offensive rebounds, and so like it was just little stuff like that. You need to like try to put back up and and like revamp everything that you were like learning before James Harden was there. So like I could see them making like a Western Conference Finals. They just have too much star power. I know people like to say that, oh, too many stars on one team is kind of like a bad thing. They won't all like, they can't play all off the ball. But I think that they're at the point in their career where they just have to, because like they all need a ring. Paul George needs a ring. James Harden and Westbrook all need a ring, and they have Kawhi Leonard, who's 1-2, to help them, like smooth into that like role and to get into the finals. And so that's just my take on it.
That's absolutely true. They made some big changes. Harden is gonna drastically change your offense, your locker room, everything. So, and having someone like Westbrook who really needs the ball too. It's you saw that you saw Kawhi and Paul George not really doing as much. You just saw it'll be a slow start. They need to build up the chemistry and blow up grow their team play.
Yeah. I think locker room wise, it's probably the worst. Like not like a terrible like decision, but I think locker room wise, it's gonna affect him the most, because I just don't see a guy like Kawhi. And I'm not saying I know Kawhi on a personal level. I don't be talking to him like that, but like from what we see on the court and everything like that, I think Kawhi and James Harden I don't know how they'll blend really, because I mean James Harden, I feel like he doesn't take it fully seriously, and Kawhi is Mr. Serious. I mean, like he takes everything 100%, and James Harden does too, until playoffs come around. Paul George is another playoff performer. I think they have a lot of people that just shut down in the playoffs historically. They have Westbrook, but he's old, out of his prime. I mean, he can't keep up what he's doing and everything like that. And then Kawhi steps up in the playoffs. But James Harden and Paul George are both like known for kind of falling off a little bit in the playoffs, like in every stat. So I think the Clippers will do good. I think they just needed to, they're obviously working things out. You can't work things out in like 2 days, however long ago James Harden got traded. So I think by the time playoffs comes around, I think they'll figure everything out and they'll make a pretty deep run.
I agree. I see them getting to the conference finals, and that's about it. They'll really need Kawhi to,
play.
Just yeah, absolutely.
All of them. They just need all of them to play. I mean, everybody other than like Westbrook has a really bad injury history.
Yeah, that's a big issue over in LA. The Clippers just like the star players just never play. I mean, like it's just like they barely sneak into the playoffs, and then once they come to the playoffs, they like just forget how to play basketball. But Paul George.
They have the new rule now where you have to play like 65 games or whatever, something like that. So I think that will help it out a lot. Well, anything else you guys would like to touch on?
Nope.
I think that's all for me.
All right. Next up, we'll have some college football. We'll be talking about mainly Bedlam. We'll see what else we talk about there. See you guys there.
For families who like to build their wealth while staying liquid, we have flexible rate CDs to keep your funds working hard, even when you're not. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. The right balance.
Welcome back, Tigers, to the last segment of the Tiger Sports Report podcast. I'm Cody Eich alongside Bray Woodall, and we have a guest, Austin Randall, here. We'll be talking about Bedlam, OU versus OSU. Now, me and Bray are both OU fans. You're an OSU fan. I couldn't tell.
Couldn't tell.
So what are your main takeaways? We'll start off there. What are your main takeaways from the game?
My main takeaways is that finally we could prove ourselves. We're one of the top programs in college football this year. I think we've got a really good shot at the Big 12 title. If some absolute chaos goes down in the rankings with top ranked teams losing, we can make a playoff shot. But a lot of chaos has to go down. Top programs have to start losing.
It's a rough rough year to be an OU fan. We started off hot. We were ranked number 6 at one point, but it just, that loss to Kansas, we barely lost. I get it. Like some teams can make it into the playoffs with one win, but that Oklahoma State game just completely shut it off for me, man.
Yeah.
It's just unreal. It's just nothing went our way. I feel like the missed PI call, that was brutal. It was a brutal hit. I kind of just destroyed the morale of everyone on the team, but I mean, it was the last game of Bedlam. I'm not going to really call it a rivalry. I'm not going to lie. It's 90 to whatever, 91 to 20, 91 to 20. But it's. I'm just going to be sad that we can't beat up on our little brother anymore since we're going to the SEC. But y'all can have the last one.
Yep, appreciate that. We're going to run the Big 12 now.
Going into the game, I think OU really had a chance to beat them. OSU gave me a little bit of nerves and everything like that because I think you guys are more star-studded than we are. Dylan Gabriel, he's a Heisman runner-up, or not runner-up. He's a Heisman runner. He shouldn't be. Yeah. He shouldn't be. It's just because of our record and how we've been playing and everything like that. I don't think we were gonna I knew we were gonna win, but it's like looking at the teams on paper. It's like having our best receiver be Drake Stoops out of all people. Yeah. I mean, he's short. I mean, I know that's not like a bad thing, but when you're playing football, being tall is kind of an advantage when it comes to being receiver. So I think at the end of the day, you guys were the better team. You guys won, even though we got cheated on the second to last drive. Speaking of Stoops, that was a PI.
That was not a PI.
I mean, he's playing unless he's playing football with one hand, it wasn't a PI. But I'm pretty sure he has two hands.
I mean, that PI could have really set us up because we decided to kick a field goal and we didn't get the ball back, and so that was like the last time we had the ball. So it's just like. I mean, it's just unreal, honestly. I just couldn't believe it. I was just lost for words. I didn't even know what to say. Like a day before this podcast, I was just in disbelief. I just couldn't believe it. But Dylan Gabriel versus ranked teams, he's not very good. He's never have been. I've never been really impressed with the guy. I mean, I can't wait for Jackson Arnold to start for us. He's going to be a stud. I think might be a Heisman. I think he's going to be a Heisman number one, probably in Vegas, the odds, and at one point of his career. And I think he might go to the NFL, unlike Dylan Gabriel. I don't think he's really NFL caliber, but. I mean, he's just a game manager in my opinion. He can. There's some throws that he should make that could set us up real well, but he just makes the throws that are just easy. And so I was never impressed with him. I was kind of scared going into the game since OSU was on a hot streak and we just came off a loss. And so, I mean, it's just. I'm just in disbelief, honestly. I've said it a bunch, but I just can't believe it, honestly.
Another mistake that we made was the deep ball Dylan decided to throw in the double coverage. Yeah. I, watching it, as the ball was coming down, I saw the two OSU defenders. I was like, bro, what? Yeah. What did you see? Because you have to think from his POV, what was he looking at that he saw, he could, fit, what window was he looking at that he
we have, no receivers that can jump up and just make that catch. He has no, playmaker on that team. A player that he can just, like A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, he has no, A.J. Brown, you know what I mean? He just has no stud that he can just throw it up to and they can catch it over anyone. You gotta deal with what you have, and you don't have a big old stud like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, sorry, going into, I don't want to be all biased towards OSU. I am a big OSU fan. OU has some really talented receivers with Drake Stoops, Jaleel Farouk. He's amazing from what I've seen. Our receiving core. What's his name? Jaden Bray. He was really good that game. And then Alan Bowman. That was his best game yet on the season. Mm-hmm. Ollie Gordon. He struggled a little bit. He didn't put up numbers like he did on the past few weeks, but Ollie Gordon second. He had a big impact on the offense where he was there. He was a threat to them. So Alan Bowman, he really got the ball out to the receivers more easily. Mm-hmm. So the offense really just dominated over OU that day.
Well, let's go into the future aspect of the things of OU versus OSU. I don't know why I said the things. It's my bad. OU versus OSU. Let's look at the future aspect, obviously, since OU's leaving and everything like that. Austin, how do you think OSU will be now?
I think OSU is going to be the dominant Big 12 team. Utah, Arizona, they're coming in to the Big 12. Arizona's doing really good over in the Pac-12, so they can shake some stuff up in the Big 12. But other than that, I don't think any other team is going to be Oklahoma State level, Utah level, or even Arizona now.
I somewhat agree. I think Kansas State can give you all a run for your money, but I think you will be obviously Vegas odds is y'all will make the Big 12 championship or runner up third place in the Big 12 maybe. But I think I can see y'all making the Big 12 championship for the next 3 years to come. I'm a little worried about us going to the SEC. I'm not going to lie. Same. But I think Jackson Arnold will be in good hands is what I'm saying. I think we'll be in good hands. I think the recruiting process for receivers, they want to play with a guy like Jackson Arnold. You know, he was the second-ranked quarterback behind Arch Manning. And so, I don't know. I feel like the recruiting's going to be better. The coaching's going to be better. The passing offense is going to be better. And I think the running offense will be better because he can move on the ground too. So.
I think since we are going to a better division, obviously that's unarguable. I don't think anybody's going to argue that we're going to a better division. What? You gave me a little questionable look?
I don't know. It's just that like I'm just super worried about it. You know what I mean? I just don't know how it's just gonna go.
What I was gonna say is I do think if we're going to go into it, I'd rather have a guy like Jackson Arnold than a guy like Dylan Gabriel. Yeah. So I'm happy. We're obviously gonna have the couple years where we're gonna get kind of beat up on. I feel like I don't think we're gonna go in there and instantly make an impact of showing OU football. But once it's after a few years, I think we'll actually show them. We're gonna get better recruits. I think receiver wise and everything like that. And I mean, OU, we've only had like one good receiver. Like that's usually our thing. We don't have like three.
The last
star
good
receivers.
one was CD Lamb, I think. The last great
Marvin
one.
Mims.
Marvin Mims, yeah.
Well, that's all I have. Do you guys have anything else?
Nope.
Oh. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching the Tiger Sports Report. We'll see you guys next time.